Legend of Total War here, and today I was able to sigh a massive sigh of relief as I believe the YouTube drama that has been front and center on the channel for the past couple of days is, I think, completely concluded. Pixelated Apollo an hour ago released a video called I Was Wrong, 7 minutes and 38 seconds long, where he just takes full accountability for the videos that I basically felt like I had to defend myself from. He doesn't make any excuses and just takes full accountability, and then at the end of it basically says he just wants to go back to doing what he originally loved doing, which is just making positive content. Rather than focusing on things that he hates, start to focus on things that he loves. So this is possibly one of the best apology videos I've ever seen. There's just no excuses. There's no pleading for any mercy or anything like that. He just takes full accountability, accepts what's going to happen, and then just wants to move forward. So this is a 10 out of 10 apology video. I couldn't have asked for him to have done a better one. Now, the main purpose of me doing that original video, so this was, the biggest hypocrite Pixelated Apollo video, was to give him a big kick up the ass. Because I have been where he's been. We spoke briefly, privately, before he released this video. And he told me some of the things that he's going through in real life. He and I have gone through very similar things. And I completely understand how something like that can send you down a dark path and lead you down, the edgy rabbit hole and make those kind of references and whatnot. And sometimes you might not even realize you're doing it until someone points it out. The cure for me back then was a big kick up the ass. And I kind of wanted to give Pixelated Apollo the exact same big kick up the ass to bring back the original Pixelated Apollo that I consider a friend. And I feel like that has been achieved. I don't see any of that bitter, angry person in this video here that we saw in the other videos. So for my part, I completely forgive Pixelated Apollo and accept his apology, because this is just a really good apology. He just took accountability for it, and now he just needs to continue managing his channel in that way. Focus on the things that he loves. He can still criticize things. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying he should like disqualify himself from these conversations, but it's the way you go about it that's important as well. I don't expect him to suddenly love Total War Warhammer. There's nothing wrong with thinking that Total War Warhammer is crap. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. As long as we engage in like honest conversation, no problem with that whatsoever. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with disagreeing with any of my takes. And I think he completely understands that. So I'm going to like this video. I'm going to resubscribe to Pixelated Apollo. This was always my original intention when I made that video, was for this to be the outcome. And I'm glad that this is the outcome. There's always the possibility whenever you escalate things, which I definitely did, that you may not end up with the desired result, because I basically have done this kind of thing with Creative Assembly before. They've done something that I found really upsetting, and I would escalate things, and it would always lead to basically them just doubling down, never taking any accountability, and it meant that I just couldn't ever get past it. My personal philosophy is that I can't forgive someone if they're not sorry. And Creative Assembly has never taken any accountability whatsoever for any of the things that I find egregious with them. But that's not relevant to this right now. All I'm trying to say is that everything that I had a problem with Pixelated Apollo for, he has taken accountability for. And so I forgive him, and I can move past it straight away. I'm just going to move it. It's water under the bridge, and we can just go back to just being engaged in constructive conversation, where we'll still disagree from time to time. There's no doubt about that. He and I have different tastes in what we want from Total War. We've got a lot of common ground, and I'd much prefer it if in future we focus on that common ground rather than always focus on the things that we don't have common ground on. So I'm really grateful for Pixelated Apollo for doing this video here, and I think it's also important to note how he hasn't made any attempt to make excuses, and that he actually did this process pretty quickly while he's also got other things going on in real life. Now was not the best time for him to be going through this drama. And the fact that he took time out of his day to do this, I think, is really important, and just shows how much he cares about the community by and large. Because he is. I'm sure he understands this. He is still going to get accusations from the wider community. He and I have now got more common ground because we have both gone through the exact same thing. Both got a kick up the ass. And so I understand what's going to happen now. A large portion of the community will just get over this. Some people will resubscribe, some people won't. It's up to Pixelated Apollo to rebuild from there. And he's going to have people hold on to what just happened for a very long time on the Reddit or whatever. He's going to have to deal with that. And so the best advice I can give him that has worked for me is that you can't argue with these people. They're going to hold on to that opinion basically to the death. The best way to counter them is that any accusations that they make of you about whatever that might be, just live your life and prove them wrong. You don't need to argue with them. Just don't be the person that they say you are, and they will look like idiots. And over time, people will actually come to your defense and just say, look, he may have been like that at one point, but he's clearly not that way. Over the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, he's been nothing but a positive influence on the Total War community. So just live your life as the person that you want to be, rather than what they say you are. To this day, I still get people bringing issue with me for things that I said 10 years ago. There's just nothing you can do about it. You can't argue with them. All you can do is just not be the person that they think you are. So, like I said, I've resubscribed to Pixelated Apollo, and I've chucked him a like on that video. I'll be linking this in the description. And also, while I'm recording this video, so this is the video here, the biggest hypocrite Pixelated Apollo, I'm going to grab this one here. This was the Rome 2 petition to lower the price of it, which I said I didn't endorse. I now do endorse it. I'm going to take this and put it in the comment section of my video. I can't force you guys to sign the petition. I don't think any of these petitions are going to go anywhere. The Medieval 2 Remaster one, this Rome 2 one, or the Medieval 3 one. Things are just going to happen how they're going to happen. The Total War community is still too tribal, too clicky, and I think right now, rather than focusing on what Creative Assembly should be doing, I think we need to need to try to heal the community as much as, well, it's not my job to do that, but I'm just saying that we as a community should focus more on building bridges between each other than focus on Creative Assembly. Because at the end of the day, they're just doing whatever there is that they're doing, and we're probably not going to influence it that much. We didn't present a united front. There's just no way they're going to take anything seriously. They probably were just laughing their ass off during this whole drama thing, and it is what it is. So I'll still put this in the description, but I don't expect anything to come of it. If it starts to gain some traction, I'll support this as much as I possibly can, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in it given the current climate. But yeah, as of right now, I'm going to private this video. So you got to keep in mind that it's 11 p.m. my time. It takes time for me to upload this video. So those of you who may have been halfway through watching this will be like, oh, what happened to the video? And then this video will show up maybe half an hour to an hour from now. And it will make sense because you saw this happen basically live. So I'm going to private that now. And this is just never going to see the light of day again. Because as far as I'm concerned, all the content in this video is now completely invalid because he has taken full accountability for himself. I'm so grateful for him for doing that. And I hope that we can go back to being friends, maybe even be stronger friends than we were before. Sometimes adversity like this can actually be like a test of fire for a friendship and end up being stronger than it was before. That's what I'm hoping happens, and I hope he understands the spirit of which this was intended. That I wanted my friend back. I saw him going down a path that I just can't. I had to fight for it basically, and I think he understands that and is going to be the person that I've always admired and been friends with. So I'm just super grateful to everyone that actually gave a shit about this situation. Obviously, a lot of people will take this as an opportunity to just go and like brigade, and in many ways, I just let that happen. Because that's part of the ass kicking that needs to happen. Like Pixelated Apollo lost a whole bunch of subscribers. He can now start regaining that, and hopefully it happens quite quickly for him. And he'll probably get to 1 million subscribers before I do, because I'm like only barely halfway there essentially. But anyway, I consider this matter here concluded. Now, one thing I wanted to do with this is do something along the opposite lines of like calling out people. Instead, give some people a shout out. Now, the timing of this video here wasn't super fantastic for me because I've actually just finished recording a tier list, which is a little bit outdated now because it references this little spat. So when that tier list comes out in the next probably 2 or 3 days, just know that I recorded that tier list before recording this video. That's all. It's just that I can get this one out straight away, whereas the other one needs to be edited and stuff. But given the climate, I always try to balancing the scales. There's obviously been a lot of community turmoil at the moment, and I think now is the best time to go the opposite direction and try to build bridges, say more positive things towards other people. And that's what I hope that tier list is going to do, but you'll have to wait until it actually comes out. But yeah, when you're watching it and you're like, oh, what the hell? He's talking about the spat with Pixelated Apollo, but I thought that was resolved. Yeah, I'll have to put some sort of note and edit it in some way, or just re-record the whole thing. We'll see. I'll figure that out. But anyway, one thing I wanted to do in this video here is just shout out to other creators that talked about the situation. Legend of Total War is right. CA should make Medieval 2 remastered. So this video here from Gaming Immersion, I'm going to link this video in the description. It's not defending me necessarily, but what he does is just add his voice to the conversation. Doesn't agree with me on everything, and I'm not asking anyone to do that. In fact, he even goes so far as to say that his playstyle is nowhere near what mine is. It's like the complete opposite. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But the point that I want to shout out here is that this is how you have a constructive conversation. I had no issue with anything that he said in this video. It's all really useful stuff, and he brought up some really good points. But there was no need for any bad faith arguments. It's just everything was in good faith. And this was what I was originally hoping for when I made the Medieval 2 remaster video, because I know I don't get it all right, and that's why I need other people to sort of help me out along with this stuff and come up with other ideas. I can't do it all myself. Yeah, he did a great job with this video, so I want to give him a shout out. And another one over here to Jonyo, Legend and Pixelated Apollo, a rant about the state of Rome Total War YouTube. I also want to give him a shout out that also covers this topic, I believe, in completely good faith. I'm sure there were a lot of other people. Also, just a bit of a shout out to Andy's take, but he'll get a shout out as well when the tier list comes out. So we'll get to him later. But just to anyone that participated in the conversation, and even if they disagreed with me, that's not what it's about at all. I'm not looking for 100% consensus on my take. But just contributing to the conversation. The more people talk about a particular issue, you start to gain momentum for it. And even if we've got differences, like one big contention that people had was the fact that I said that they shouldn't focus on the AI. I came at that from a business perspective. I didn't mean it in terms of players don't care about AI. They absolutely do care about AI. Loads of people complain about the AI in Total War. My position with it, which I probably didn't make very clear, was that the AI in Total War hasn't really improved in any meaningful way in the past 20 years, and it's not seemingly a selling point. As long as the AI is functional for a potential Medieval 2 remastered, that would be all I would ever expect from that. I just don't expect them to completely remake Medieval 2 from scratch. And I probably articulated that very poorly, and it seemed like some people really wanted to get stuck in on that particular talking point, which is totally fair, because AI is important to them. But from what I've seen with Total War Warhammer specifically, is that whenever Creative Assembly thinks to improve the AI, they just up the anti-player bias up to 10, and then people complain, and then it's just a lot of resources going back and forth, and when we end up in the exact same place where the AI is just super passive and stuff like that. At the end of the day, if people want to play against a smart opponent, the option to play a hot seat campaign or a co-op campaign or a head-to-head campaign is available in the case of most Total War games. And so that your option has always been available to you to just do it that way. The other opponent player is able to take control of every enemy that you go up against. If you want to go up against smart AI, it has been available to you for a very long time. But some of us, for me, for example, I don't really care how smart the AI is. I just want it to be at least understand how to play the game. That's about it. I just don't expect it to be ChatGPT or anything like that, just because I understand it's a totally niche franchise. I don't expect Creative Assembly to sink $1 billion into fantastic AI or however much it costs. Obviously, I'm exaggerating for the sake of conversation, I guess. But yeah, want to give a big shout out to these guys. They both have a link in the description. Go and check them out. Check them a sub. Give them a like. And also sign the petition if you want. I now endorse it. I just don't think anything's going to come of it. The video's been taken down. And once again, I think it's important that that if people make a mistake and take accountability, that they should be given a second chance. And I think that this is basically Pixelated Apollo's first drama. The entire time he's been on YouTube. Like, I've had multiple chances, right? This is his essentially second chance. So I just don't see any reason why people should give him a hard time about it. As long as he doesn't, like, revert back to any of those behaviors or indications of those behaviors, I don't see any reason to see this as anything other than genuine. But, you know, he'll have to demonstrate that through his content, which I'm confident that he will do, because he's already done that for the past like 15 years. This period of time here that we were really having an argument about, it's a very small period of time, and hopefully now that ends that chapter and we're just done, and we can go back to just being friends and move forward as a community. I would much prefer if we all sort of came together as a community to, as in anybody who likes Total War, you know, we don't need to have these sort of tests of purity. Oh, you only like Medieval 2? Or that's not good enough. We have to like the best Total War game. No, none of that crap, okay? We all need to accept that we all enjoy different Total War games, including the people that like Pharaoh. You know, I've obviously been pretty harsh on Pharaoh, but whatever. I try not to... I hope I haven't demonstrated that it's in any way the players who enjoy that game's fault. I've always tried to preface those things by, if you like Total War Pharaoh, don't let anything that I say about it make that game less enjoyable for you. You should be allowed to enjoy that game. All I was really trying to say was that game wasn't for me. But anyway, come together and try to sort out what we actually want and what would be the most feasible thing to present a united front towards Creative Assembly. That is the only way that we're going to be able to actually request something and get it done. We can't just have like a small portion of the community request it. It will always be ignored. The thing that worked with the Immortal Empires, make that free for everyone that owns Warhammer 3. The only reason that worked is because the community put aside their differences and came together and said, this is what we want. You have to demand it, and they'll do it, because at the end of the day, Creative Assembly, they want your money, and if you say to them, this is what you need to do to get our money, they'll just do it. I think. Well, if they don't do it, then they're pretty bloody stupid, and you just don't give them their money, and then it is what it is. But I think they've been thoroughly tested with that sort of stuff, and they're very much desperate to actually get a win, which is what I was talking about in the video as well. Anyway, rambling on a little bit here. I'm very happy with this situation. I want to thank everyone in the community for their participation, regardless of whether they criticized me or supported me with this, and same thing with Pixelated Apollo, and that we can just come to a swift conclusion. Hopefully this makes the whole community a lot stronger as a result. That's what I'm hoping for. But time will tell. We need to demonstrate it, not just say it, because words aren't good enough. You have to actually demonstrate that you're better going forward. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the support. And my recommendation would be to give Pixelated Apollo a chance to redeem himself and accept this apology, because it's just, it comes across as nothing but genuine. But anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Later, guys.